in Canada. What was she doing in Canada? Oh, by the way, she just happened to have training in Canada when she got her medical degree. Oh, isn't it interesting? Those same people where she got training happened to be where SARS outbroke. And, oh, gosh, she was involved in the avian outbreak. She's really well trained, folks. This Chinese lady, head of WHO, is part of these pathological liars. So we know who the enemy is. That's great. Hold them close to your chest because you want to know what they're up to. If you get rid of them, you won't know who's going to replace them. My little trip along this path started at the age of 13 when I read The Great Pyramid, Miracle in Stone by Joseph Seiss. He wrote it in 1877. Ever since then, I've started off with this gut intuitive feeling that something peculiar was going on. That doesn't come to a child of 13 without some reason for it to occur. It's led me on this path. I'm going to tell you, there's been speculation too about, oh gosh, there's the potential that the Koreans could launch a nuclear weapon in the air and boom, out goes with the EMP. That's true. The EMP could devastate many computers. Now it's going to have to be closer than over their own country. I don't know if they could get one close enough, but if they could, it'd be over. They don't have to blow us up. I do know this, because this is out of the Waterman files. I worked with a company, Andrews Corporation, who at that time was working with a Grosses Corporation, which got bought out by Andrews. And who is Andrews? They're out of Chicago, Illinois. You can check on it. And they have, since World War II, developed and are one of the main providers in the communication field for microwave antennas. And along with Grosses, who did towers, and of course they then joined together, they have a secondary communication system that is classified, and I don't care, it's old enough now, I'll tell you, that's been put in the silos all across America. If communications were to go down, you will see a north route east to west, a central route east to west, and a southern route. These are backbones. These microwaves will come out of those silos after they pop the tops on them. The microwave antennas have already been aimed. They might need a little tweaking before they get really working good. And a secondary system will emerge. Now, I've heard a lot of people talk about a man by the name of Dmitri Duduman who said that this was going to happen, but he didn't have information that a classified project existed. Very similar to the project that you don't know about that is in Saudi Arabia, where they have these towers on trucks and they've poured these concrete platforms in the middle of nowhere out in the deserts and the sands, which they locate with GPS devices, and if they need to, they go out there with a truck and an antenna and a microwave tower on it, and they put the base on. It's hinged. The truck has a winch. They put it in place and they raise it. Many of you aren't aware that there's something called King Khalid Military City in the middle of the desert of Saudi Arabia. I worked on it. It's a city of 80,000 people. It took years to build, and they brought the concrete in from the Persian Gulf on concrete trucks specifically designed, bringing it in miles and miles and miles, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, because the sand in Saudi Arabia has too much salt to be used for concrete. Folks, there is a lot of people supposedly wondering what's going on. I'm going to tell you, I think you better start going with your bullshit detector, because there is stuff going on. In the meantime, you can do something about this because this year could be worse than last year. I want to encourage everybody to get with their communities. And so, again, please, those interested in communities, go to Project Avalon. We'll do that until it falls apart or they block it. Project Avalon, go to the ground crew sections for each of the areas, and when you post your link and offer of or request for knowledge of a community, put the Waterman or TWF on the bottom, and then you'll know that it came from here and it might be just a little bit more comfortable for you. If you don't have to, if you don't want to. I just thought it might make it more comfortable for people. It's just gotten to where it's so big, I wouldn't be able to communicate that well for you all anyway, and I'd get in the way as it grew anyway. Huge number of areas are already there on that forum, and it's free now. Well, it's a little bit after the hour. This is John Waterman, not Charles, John Waterman. And Carrie Cassidy from yesterday. I apologize publicly, Carrie. I am so sorry. I did not mean to call you Kathy, which I did the whole time. Maybe it's something in the air. Everybody's calling everybody the wrong name. So, this is John Waterman, and I'm coming to you from deep inside the castle, and you've been listening to the Waterman Files, and this is January 1st, 2010, first day of the decade. Go give somebody you love a hug. Thanks for listening.